fantasy game that falls into the action-adventure genre, but there's a lot more to it than that. You play as Senua, a Celtic warrior who is on a quest to rescue the soul of her dead lover from Helheim, aka the underworld. Senua is plagued by what she believes to be a curse, but what she's actually suffering from is a mental illness called psychosis. Her psychosis causes her to hear voices and see things that aren't really there, but that doesn't make the danger any less real. So to help you on your journey through the depths of hell, Senua's mind, and the voices and creatures of darkness, all while avoiding the looming threat of permadeath, here are 5 tips for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. And puzzle solving guiding the way. But let's not forget about the psychological horror aspect, which plays a huge part in this story. The game starts in tandem with Senua's journey, but with no HUD, one of the first things you'll want to do is check the pause menu to make sure you're familiar with the controls. Learning these controls is pretty valuable since they don't give a ton of warning before throwing you into sticky situations. This menu is also where you can adjust the difficulty, but before we talk about that, let's check out our next tip. Now, if the rot reaches Senua's head, you'll feel to start over from the very beginning of the game. So another important step of your playthrough is to make sure you've got the right difficulty setting. The auto difficulty option is the default, but this scales down and up. Some players say this difficulty setting is even more difficult than hard mode, so if you'd rather enjoy the story and skip the permadeath anxiety, drop it down to a setting you'll know you'll be comfortable with. This game, you're gonna need some patience. Even something as simple as crossing a narrow beam high in the air can kill you, so go slow and don't rush. This goes for combat as well. Now, as you start the game, you'll be tempted to smash through enemies, but don't make a habit of this. It isn't much farther into the game before you need a more complex combat strategy that requires proper timing, evasion, and blocking. Perform a well-timed parry for some effective damage, and don't forget about your focus ability. When you land combos and evade attacks, you'll gain focus energy. An emblem will glow on Senua. Don't worry, you'll also be prompted by the voices in her head. Using Senua's focus will slow time, allowing you to deal some massive damage. It's quite helpful. These voices add valuable narrative, and the audio cues will help you figure out your next steps. The voices also help during battle, letting you know when your focus skill is ready or when an enemy has managed to get behind you. But if you want the full effect of Hellblade's amazing sound design, listen with headphones. The developers used simulated 3D sound, which adds to the realness of the voices in Senua's head, immersing you even further into the game and her mind. Act like keys for opening passageways, while runes act like markers for your progress throughout the story. Game chapters are marked by dots, and the red runes will turn a glowing white with each discovered. These runes provide deeper narrative and guidance for Senua's story, so they're worth finding. But they're not always in the most obvious places. Once you finish a chapter, you can't go back. So, if you want all the story, make sure you find the runes before moving on. Story is an important part of Hellblade. Its narrative is unique, and the environment, atmosphere, as well as the story are all dark, yet eerily beautiful. One of the most intriguing pieces of this game is Senua's mental health. The developers worked closely with neuroscientists, mental health specialists, as well as people who struggle with psychosis, and through amazing audio and visual effects and distortions, they were able to accurately convey the fearsome effects of this very real disorder. Having a character like Senua, who is brave and fierce, yet plagued by mental illness, is an empowering thing for many people. Some of our biggest struggles in life as humans are internal and invisible to others. Experience the story and struggle for yourself with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.